All right, episode 1. So, how to manifest love and a relationship, especially when the dating pool sucks. There's no good men out there. There's no good people left. But we're going to let you know actually how to manifest love and a relationship.
Absolutely.
Easy. But first, you probably want to know who we are, why you should listen to us. You want to go first?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Jules. I'm not from Victoria, actually. I've been here for about 4 years.
Oh, actually, we didn't even tell you why we named it Millennial Island.
Well, we're millennials.
And we live on Vancouver Island in Victoria.
Isn't that hilarious? And how cute is that?
Yeah, like a play off of Love Island. Get it? Love Island, don't sue us. We didn't take your name.
We're just Millennial Island.
We'll trademark it.
Yeah. So yes, I've been here on the island for 4 years, here in Victoria, just a little bit over. I am a personal trainer, a lover of all manifestation, inner work. That's what we're about. I have been in very long-term relationships. I have been in very short-term relationships for the past 10 years. And so I'm so happy to share what my experiences are with you, what I've learned from my inner work, what I've learned from my relationships with my beautiful friends, with my past relationships, with current relationships, and I'll let Megs take it from here.
Absolutely. I'm Megan. I'm 2 years on the island here, but let me tell you what, before I moved to freaking Victoria, everybody warned me there's no good people left. It's only girls. They called it Chicktoria. All these freaking limiting beliefs about this city. And my wheelhouse as a rapid transformational therapist, clinical hypnotherapist, is I have a deep understanding of the subconscious mind, the manifesting. That is my wheelhouse. And I just decided then and there, I'm not going to let that be my reality. So my dating life in Victoria has been incredible, wonderful, phenomenal, because I decided it to be so, but I have the mindset, the understanding of belief systems, energetics to really apply that into my internal world, and my external world completely shifts because of that. So my experience dating in my 30s in Victoria, where if you live in a city where it's like there's no good people left, everyone good is taken, you need to stop saying that right now. And we're gonna debunk all of those limiting beliefs around love and dating, and actually how to manifest love in a relationship so that you can trust in your heart's desire of what you actually want, and know whatever city you are in, no matter what city you're in, no matter how crappy the dating pool is, you could be landed in a jungle, you would meet your person, you will meet your love, because it's just gonna happen.
Absolutely. And Megs, to clarify with you.
Talk to me, goose.
When you say that your dating life has been absolutely amazing, does that mean that your every experience has been positive?
Such a good question. Thank you so much for asking that. No, it has not. No, it has not. Where I said amazing was because when people said there's just nobody left, it's only women in Victoria, quote unquote Chicktoria, my experience was amazing in the sense where I just never had a problem getting a date, going on dates, having fun on dates. I manifested relationships that took me longer to get over than they actually were. I had situationships, I had emotionally unavailable people I attracted, and we'll also get into that too, of noticing the type of men or people you're attracting. You're the problem, I was the problem, I was the energetic match to these types of people, and then when you can get really clear on what you need to shift,
absolutely,
who you attract shifts. I tell you what.
It's everything.
It is
honestly
everything.
Your energy, your energetic match,
your beliefs, your wounds from childhood, like all of this is playing into play of who you're attracting, who you're not attracting, the type of relationship that you're in. Like if you're like, I'm always in these toxic relationships, I'm always with controlling people, you need to be aware of that.
And it's amazing how many people are aware of their dating patterns, but they actually never bring it back to themselves. It's always the other person.
Yes.
And it's like, girl, you got to grab your mirror. You got to grab your friends, your family, your external mirrors and ask those questions. Could it be me?
And stop blaming too why you're not finding love is because where you're living. Let's debunk that right away. So we're both not local to Victoria. We moved to the island and we both heard the exact same things. And just notice whatever city you live in too, if it's like, oh, notice what the limiting beliefs are of your city. What are limiting beliefs? Any statement, phrase that is limiting to what you actually want or desire. It could be around money, it could be around success, it could be around your work, but we're talking about love. And your society, your city, your family, your friends can all have limiting beliefs around love and dating and a relationship, and so can you. So just start to, as we delve into Victoria, start to just notice anything about your city, and we'll tell you how our experience was the complete opposite of what everybody told us because we chose it to be so.
Yes, and that I think is a really good place for us to start.
Yeah.
So, way back in the day, 4 months ago, when I first met Megs, we went out to a friend's party together, and we had both got on the topic of online dating.
Yeah.
And I believe the words I said to you were, there's no one on the dating apps, because you had taken a break. That's how this had all started. You said you had taken a break, and I said, girl, save yourself. There's no one out there. And you should have seen the look. Like, now that I know her way better, she's got this face.
What is it?
It's the face!
Did I just do it?
Yeah, it's like she does this like quiet like inward, and then she's kind of like, And sometimes she's processing, but a lot of times it's because she does not agree with what is being said. And then you told me.
Well, I don't remember what I told you.
You don't remember when you told me?
I think I told you
You're
like...
just like, girl, yeah, no, if you're going to believe that, you're not going to find someone.
Snaps for past Megan.
I didn't know this girl. And I actually remember feeling not even sad that that was the information that you had shared. I actually ended up feeling really sad that that was the information that I was putting out there to her. Ooh. Because my limiting belief is something that I was trying to impose on her. Someone who's excited to get out there, somebody who's excited to meet someone. I was taking my negative, poisonous energy and putting it on her and just being like, yeah, girl, don't even try.
Ooh, see, this is how good I am at not letting other people's... But for real, is how good I'm not letting other people's limiting beliefs in, because I don't even remember that was my response.
Your reaction.
My response to that, because I'm just like, I don't let that in. So really great note. If you have a friend like old Missy Jules here, past
negative Nelly.
Yeah. Don't accept their limiting beliefs.
Return to sender.
Literally, that's what we say.
Yeah.
Return to sender. Return that energy, return those limiting beliefs back to sender. They're not meant for you.
Absolutely. So don't be afraid of saying that either. Don't be afraid. Wow. Don't be afraid.
Who's Fred? Fred! Do we invite Fred?
Do not be afraid to call in your friends to have a better energy. Call in your friends.
It's not a call out.
We
so
don't
it's not
call out our
coming
friends.
like, hey, you're wrong, you're this. Like, that's not coming from love and non-judgment. It's a call in to be like, hey, I'm a mirror for you. I'm offering you a different perspective because I love you. So check yourself before you do a call in. But if you're a good friend, you're not going to just let them carry on with like these limiting, icky beliefs about love and themselves and what they're worthy of having. If your friend's in a toxic relationship, I would hope my friends would tell me something that I can't see, because that's another thing. When you become an energetic match to these toxic relationships stemming most likely from childhood. That's what was familiar to you. Your subconscious loves what is familiar. Your first relationship is usually like similar to your father's relationship because that's what you know from males' relationships. If that's not healthy, you don't know any different because that's all you knew and that's all you know.
Absolutely.
So have good friends that will call in for you and be that good friend to call in.
We always say that we are each other's mirrors at all times.
Yeah.
And we actually call each other, we literally call into each other to say, hey, this is what's going on. And there are times where Megs has said to me some really hard things.
But I asked first, what do you want to hear? Do you want to hear the hard truth? Do you just want me to listen? Like you want them to be in a good place too when you're talking about love and dating and the person they're dating, because it's your friend at the end of the day and you don't want to create issues, but I want my friends to tell me the hard truth.
Yeah, I do too, even if it's not easy to hear. Like I remember the one time you shared with me that moment on our walk and about that person.
Oh yeah, that person. I was like, nope.
And you're like, no, I don't want to say it. And I'm like, no, I want you to say it. Like, I don't want you to hide anything from me. And she's like, this is not your person.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to work. And that was not easy for her to say, but it was okay for me to hear because sometimes those people, even if you don't choose to go with how they're going to say things, even if you're going to continue seeing that person your friend doesn't like, a good friend will understand that, hey, I said my piece. I could be wrong.
And that's what I said that. I even said, if I'm at your wedding, I will say in the speech, I was wrong on that walk. I am so sorry. I'm so glad you didn't listen to me. It was only my perspective, because that is true. You only know what you know, right? And you can only offer what you want. She's going to keep what she wants and leaves the rest.
Absolutely.
But how did you even get into a relationship dating, Jules, when we live in Chicktoria, which let's already debunk that, friends. Chicktoria. Wrong. I did the census report. I did my research, friends. I looked it up. Guess what? Everyone says, oh, there's like, I've heard absurd things. There's 7 women to 1 man. Like, absurd.
I think I heard more. I heard it was like
more?
15 to 1.
Oh, and like, it's literally traveled across Canada.
I heard it in Calgary.
I heard it everywhere. Like, everywhere before I moved here. Don't move there. It's only girls. I mean, sorry guys, if a guy's listening to this, you're not gonna like this, because actually the number of men between the ages of 20 and 39 who are not married or living common law, so single bachelors, there is a surplus of youth, over 3,740 surplus. And this was a census report in 2016. So this is when oil and gas was booming in Alberta. So men went over there. There's way more men here now because of after that they moved back. So that's even larger now. So if anyone says this ever again to me about Chicktoria, I might slap you in the face with love and this census report. Here's the census report. Don't ever fucking say that to me again.
It comes from love. It comes from love.
A little bit of sass.
But it's true. I mean, like,
oh my God, because all the girls adopted this, and that's why I can't find love. That's why there's no good men left. And I'm like, wow, everyone, your limiting beliefs around love, you need to untangle them and undo them yourself, or else you're gonna keep living this same narrative. Your mind loves to be right. So your mind is always gonna look for evidence and be like, see? Have you ever bought a new car and then all of a sudden saw it everywhere? It's the exact same thing. When you have that limiting belief in your mind, that is all you're ever going to see, and it's how you're going to speak, because I'm just going to quote it right there. Out of the heart, the mouth speaks, right? So like, what's truly in here is what's going to come out, is what's going to project, is what's going to be seen into your life. First thing I did when I moved to Victoria, I downloaded Bumble and Hinge to see, is there only women here? No, that was incorrect. There was lots of men, and I went on dates just to prove to myself I can live here. It's not just women. And as Jules asked, were all your experiences great? No, they weren't. But again, what you're an energetic match for, and also what you need to learn from relationships sometimes need to end before you find the person you're meant to be with. So I recommend going on dates. Go on dates, go on dates, go on dates. And a lot of people are like, well, I want it to be organic, and online dating apps aren't organic. What are you talking about? Your phone is not organic, your laptop's not organic, your car is not organic, but you use it every day and you want to say, like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's a real connection if you decide it is. So those are limiting beliefs around online dating. You're just cutting yourself off from another source. If it doesn't feel energetically aligned to you, that's different. But if it's like a mind limiting belief, that's what you need to acknowledge. So please take the time to connect. Is this energetically not aligned for me, or are these limiting beliefs that are blocking me from dating and finding love? Because it does start in your mind.
Absolutely. I definitely had that same limiting belief too when I first had to get back in the dating game. I was like, I've never dated online. I've never touched an app for online dating before. Like, I don't even know. And I swore up and down and left and right that I would never get on one of these things.
Don't worry, you can Google anything if you're confused about how to date online.
Yes. That is something I should have said in my intro. Master Googler. I will Google everything and anything, and then I will share it with Megs, and she will give me the same crazy look every time.
Yeah.
You Googled that?
But also, she's an FBI agent, so anyone, if you need her services, she's $400 an hour, and she'll find out anything that you want.
It's true. I will. It's actually kind of amazing what
She's
I
a PI.
recently found out about some of things in my friend's dating life. Like, one time I found a guy who's like,
Football stats from high
college
school.
football stats.
Oh my
I found
God.
out every part of his family. It was, I just sat there and I'm like, just give me 5 minutes. Okay, I got this. Yeah, you're good. We're good. He checks
She
out.
fact checked everything because I was like, he sounds like he's lying about everything. So she found it out in a matter of 5 minutes. So yeah, hire her for her services. Super great. All right. How did you start to debunk your own limiting beliefs around dating in Victoria, finding love, manifesting love?
You know, when it came to the online dating for myself, I think I just had to be really open to whatever was going to be out. I did realize that, you know, times have changed and online dating is a thing. So I just kind of had to step out of my more traditional view of life. And
Can we give them the backstory? Because she didn't date since she was like 19.
my backstory.
So she didn't understand apps, anything.
You make me sound like I'm 100.
No, just because she was in a long-term relationship. Which I think is,
Day.
but like people who ended long-term relationships, you're probably
Yeah.
scared to date. You're probably like, limiting beliefs. I don't know how to do this anymore. How many times I hear people say, and she even told me, I don't know how to date. And I was like, you don't know how to date? That's like saying you don't know how to ride a bike just because you haven't ridden a bike in a while, or you don't know how to walk because you've been sitting for 4 hours. You know how to just be you and have fun and connect with a person, just like you connect with a friend. The only thing different is you're gonna wanna have sex with the person that you're maybe that you're on a date with. That's the literal only difference.
Yes. Yeah, I got out of a very long-term relationship. I got married when I was 20 years old.
I was shooketh when she told me
20
this.
years old. And so, yeah, you know, when I was 19, like, I guess there were dating apps.
Oh.
There were.
Oh yeah, I had Tinder.
Like way back in the day,
Yeah.
but that's not how people in my community had met. So it was more of a shock for me, like almost like a culture shock to have to build this profile, to start talking with strangers online, recognizing, you know, the things that are what you should be looking for on Hinge and Profile. And I really can't wait to actually get to that episode that we'll be recording
Which one?
of the online dating and your Hinge profile.
Oh, yes. Honestly.
And what it says about you. Honestly, it's so exciting.
Because that is actually how I manifested the relationship. Is it a relationship? That I'm in now. Literally, I don't even know if I told you the story. Okay. I'm so excited for that one though, because that is a part of manifesting the person, the love that you want. It's gonna be such a fire episode.
Can't wait. I can't wait. So yeah, anyways, when it came to stepping out of my limiting beliefs around
Which were what? Tell them, because they probably have the same one. So if you're listening, just tune in. Like, do you?
Honestly, I thought that most guys who were on the dating apps, I was like, they're just gonna be creepy.
Wrong.
I'm going to get murdered.
Oh, very wrong. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. You might. Meet in a public place. Always turn Find My Location on. Share with your friends.
There are rules.
For sure.
And I just didn't feel like I had like the confidence to connect with people online. Like, what am I gonna say? Are they gonna start asking for nudes right away? Like, what?
See, these are so good to like write down what your limiting beliefs around dating online, meeting someone yourself. Write these out, because when you can write out what they are, now they're out of your mind and your subconscious and they're on paper, and you can untangle them and you can break them down.
I really like
because let's work with one what probably a lot of people have, or like there's no one good left.
No one good left is a huge
No one good left. Okay, write that down. Is that actually true? Out of over 7 billion people in the world, no matter how small your city is, you can meet someone in the airport. Someone can show up at your door. They're lost because you're in a tiny town and like, I don't know. You literally, the ways you can meet people are infinite. Okay, Absolutely. It doesn't matter where you live, how busy your work schedule is. These are things people use as excuses. I'm so busy, I can't ever get out. I dated someone and he was like, none of my friends are single, so I'm not gonna meet someone. It's
just
like,
because you're on a dating app, it doesn't mean you can't meet people other ways. Like, it's just so...
It's just insane what your mind will create of why it's not gonna work for you. You need to write them out and then actually come up with the truth. Is it really, really true that there is no good people left?
Absolutely not.
It's not true.
Because in the end, even if you meet someone and they do not work out, I guarantee you learned something from that experience.
Oh my gosh.
So, good people, there are tons of good people. Just because somebody isn't meant for you, it doesn't make them a bad person. It just means that your connection wasn't there. But take from that experience all the lessons you learned about what you want in a relationship.
Lessons you want in a relationship. Whew. Because this is how I've manifested my last, I think 4. I'm on relationship number 4 now that I've intentionally manifested. And this is what I actually want you to do. I want you to write out a list of qualities, characteristics, feelings, emotions, what you want to feel in a relationship. I kid you not, to a T, I have manifested the physical form of a human based on what I wrote in my journal before I met them. And it blows my mind every time. And why I say 4 is because each relationship, like Jules said, if it doesn't work out, I realize this is not important to me. This is important to me. Edit this list here. Add this there. So I used to date emotionally unavailable people. What did I add to my list? Emotionally available, right? So being really clear, and if you're just so stuck on external, which at one point I really was, and I had a very like fun external relationship. Like there was a boat and there was cars and there was trips. No freaking depth. Couldn't hold a conversation, couldn't go deep, couldn't be vulnerable, wasn't in touch with their emotions. So I was like, I want all the fun external things and the internal things. But then things where it was like they had to look a certain way, I'm like, that doesn't really matter as much anymore. It's like, so don't have this like 1,000 thing list and be like, they're not the one, because hold space for them to grow into that person, because they might not be that exact list at this point, but they will grow into it. I gave this to all my clients who I worked with love subconscious blocks, and blocks meaning like father wounds, stuff from childhood that really made them fearing love. They didn't feel worthy of love, working through all that, because you better believe that's within your subconscious, and you will subconsciously block that from you if you believe these limiting beliefs. And you're probably like, no, I don't consciously believe it, but it's in your subconscious, you know? When I gave them that exercise after we did our RTT and hypnotherapy to clear all that, I have 100% success rate of people messaging me back after, whether it be 100%, 6 weeks, 6 months, a year, I found my dream person based on that list I wrote. It blows my mind, and it's worked for me 4 times. So it's like, I know it works, but do that.
Absolutely. Take a look at what you've learned in your, you know what, great exercise to do as well. Take a look at your 5 past relationships. Figure out the lessons you've learned. Figure out what you want based off of those relationships, and start manifesting that relationship that you want today. Like, don't wait.
No, you don't.
Do it now.
And like, people are probably like, well, then what do I do with the list? Do you feel like reading it each day? Read it. Do you feel like I just did it and it's done and you put it away? Put it away. Manifesting love, manifesting a relationship, a technique, a exercise, what you can do, writing that list, and then every single morning, what I would do is go to a window and like, I'm saying it out to the city I live in because I have a view of the city. Why is she laughing?
Bird call.
Yeah, no, it is kind of like a bird call. I'm calling in my power couple relationship. So I literally say that, like calling in, but I speak from my heart. So this is where you really, it's not just words, like connect to your sacral chakra, connect to your heart and speak like you're actually calling that person in. And this was actually taught to me by a spiritual mentor. They said to specifically say, higher self, angels, guides, God, whatever you believe in, align me to the same frequency to my everlasting male romantic soulmate partner. Ooh. And like, that is like, you want them to be everlasting, you want them to be romantic, and like, maybe the gender doesn't matter. To me, I'm attracted to males, so that's why I said male. And the same frequency is like the same, you're on the same line, the same level. Like, you could be so, you know, not on the same frequency. You want to be on that same vibration, right? So I call them in that way. Mm-hmm. And every single day I'll do it, and it's like, well, when is it going to happen? In divine timing is when it's going to happen. I had to go through heartbreak. I had to go through relationships that didn't work. I had to end relationships that didn't work to expand my bandwidth and capacity to hold and have the power couple relationship that I desire. And I'm so clear what that feels like, what that other half of person is, and I will not settle until I find it. I don't even care. I'm 31 years old. I know I'm gonna be a mom. I'm not like rushing into anything because it's like, oh, again, another limiting belief, biological clock is ticking. Like, to me, that just makes you go into relationships, have kids that it might not be the right person. Like,
purely out of desperation.
Purely out of lack, scarcity, fear, and desperation. No.
We don't settle for those relationships, not on this podcast. So if that's what you want, you better get out of here.
Legit. Like, you need to start to look at all these limiting beliefs your parents put into your mind, society has. You can have a child that's healthy, 45, 47.
Absolutely.
Look it up. Google it. Like, there is actually no rush. Your mind is so powerful. This is like,
honestly,
it so
is insane.
Your mind and your body are connected. Stop saying like, my clock is ticking. If you keep saying that, you're gonna shrink your freaking egg count and ovaries. You will.
So what other ways, like if somebody's like, okay, honestly, Megs, I can't go to a window and call it a frequency. You're gonna have to give me something a little bit different. What would you recommend?
I would recommend you write that list that we talked about of what you desire in a relationship. Read it. as often as feels resonant to you. I mean, the first time I manifested a relationship, I wrote it once, I never looked at it again, and they came into my life and I was like, wait, I wrote this list and I found it and I was like, holy crap, this works. You literally can do just write it down once and done. You can make it so easy, so simple, but what you have to do is catch yourself when you speak limiting beliefs around men, dating, love, yourself, what you can or cannot have around relationships and dating. You have to catch yourself and you have to say the truth, which is, of course, if I desire love, it's coming to me. Like, that's actually the truth. You would not be having a desire for love or a relationship
Absolutely.
if you could not manifest it or have it. Literally, I can say this with like every thread and layer of truth. The loving presence that put you here, whatever you believe in, did not gift you desires to tease you.
Absolutely.
So trust them.
Okay, guys, so to end this podcast today, we are going to end with our recap. So to recap our limiting beliefs. Number one, we want to call into ourselves. We want to recognize our limiting beliefs. What are they? Exercise, write them down, get them out on that piece of paper. Then what do? We reverse them. We're going to reverse that language. So if it is, there's no good people to date, we're going to say there are good people to date.
And to add on to that, find evidence. Like
Yes.
when people told me Chicktoria, I found evidence by going on the dating apps to myself see there was a lot of guys and debunk that limiting belief. I also checked the census report to see that there is actually a surplus of single men in my age range.
Not the only Googler over here.
But that's the thing, your mind wants to see evidence because up until then it'll prove your limiting beliefs as evidence.
Absolutely. So definitely get those limiting beliefs, reverse them, find the evidence. The second thing we're going to do is we are going to manifest that relationship that we are desiring within our heart. We are going to write down what we're calling in, however we would need to do that. If you want to go to a window and call into that frequency, do that. If you want to write it, if you want to write it on a piece of paper and read it each morning, do that. But just
What
get
feels
into-
good?
What does feel
Yeah.
good? For me, honestly, I absolutely love, like, as you know, I'm a generator,
Yeah.
so I really dig deep into my energy. And if it's not like, if I read something on my manifestation page and it's not calling into a hell yes, it's a hell no, and I get it out of there. So that's something you can do too. Read that manifestation list, feel into what's good for you, call it into your life, and it's going to come to you.
It will, it absolutely will. And in the show notes, we'll leave a PDF where it just asks you the right questions about the type of relationship you desire, just to help you with journal prompts and to get that list going. And the number one belief to anchor in, integrate, embody when manifesting love in a relationship, that it is available to you. The
Always.
love you desire is available to you. You're worthy of love. That's another one. There's so many great beliefs to anchor in about yourself because you are part of that relationship. So it's not just about relationships, it's about yourself. I'm worthy of love. I'm lovable.
I'm good enough.
All of that. Literally come up with 10. That is your challenge.
Yes.
10 liberating beliefs about yourself.
It was so much fun.
That was so much fun. I'm
much
so
fun.
excited for you guys to write in and tell us about the love you've manifested.
Absolutely.
We want to hear all about it.
If you ever want to share anything with us, you can always email us info.millennialisland@gmail.com.
would
Write into
love
us. We want to
it.
hear from you. If you want to share us your manifestation sheets, let's do it. Let's talk about it. And of course, always reach out to us if there's any questions or any information that you want to hear on future podcasts.
Yeah. Ooh, our next podcast.
Yes.
What is it?
So I think we're going to call in a little bit more into this age range, this millennial.
Yeah, even
life
if you're
we're
29, you're gonna be 30 soon, sister.
So dating in your 30s, but really it's for dating for millennials. We're gonna get into possibly a little bit more into the dating apps, what to be reaching out for on our profile, how specific you wanna get, what your profile might be saying to you about now.
Honestly, my profile works so
literally
good.
I love it.
All right, my friends, we're so excited to have you next week when we talk about dating in your 30s, dating as a millennial, because I tell you what, it is a lot different than when you were dating as a teenager, if you just got out of a long-term relationship, if you've dated a ton of people. Till next we meet. See you later, guys. Welcome to Millennial What's the name of our podcast?
Island. Should I ask you to spell it?
2 L's, 2 M's. No.
2 N's, 2 L's.
2 L's, yeah, I got it.
You got this. Okay. Edit that part out. Grody.